With a return to WWE seemingly set and more, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report for October 9th. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Recalling the time Kevin Owens delivered a headbutt to Vince McMahon, which busted the former chairman and CEO of WWE open, Road Dogg claimed on his podcast. For one, I'm 95% sure it was a hard way. If it wasn't a hard way, nobody knew but those two. That's the truth, because we all pooped our pants when that happened. We knew he was going to headbutt him, and we knew Vince had probably told him, don't you hold back. I'm sure that's his character, his real human character. It was not planned. What we did was shoot the blood, knowing that we may be on the masters that went out everywhere else. We could edit that out, or we could also turn the film into black and white if we wanted to use it going forward. It was an on-the-spot decision to shoot that, and again, that's from my vantage point from where I was sitting. The only person that usually sat next to me was Vince, and he was in the ring, so maybe secrets were kept and talked about that I wasn't aware of, but that's my recollection of the night. Talking about Tony Khan and AEW telling Andrade he would not be fired for getting into a brawl with Sammy Guevara before it even occurred, Jim Cornette blasted the AEW president on his podcast, saying Tony Khan should have fired Andrade before, but he hasn't done house cleaning in 3 years. A couple of the people that really messed up bad, like that Jimmy Havoc and Joey Janelle and whatever, they were allowed to matriculate out. Talking about his in-ring style with muscle and fitness, AEW star Powerhouse Hobbs said, I'm not a high flyer. I don't do flippy. That's just not my style. I like to use these fists. I like to ground and pound. I think the more I cut up, I'll be more agile. That's what I'm working toward. It's about showing a different side of the beast, that monster, you know? Giving advice to Wheeler Yuta on Busted Open, William Regal had this to say in regards to his promos. I think the one thing that really stuck out to me was one from Regal where he said you just have to kind of believe more in what you're saying. Like the first week in New York, he said I hung with him. I delivered my lines and I tried to do the best that I could, but it wasn't fully me. My game is I want you to come out and fight me, so I'm going to play my game. I'm going to try to get you to come out here and fight me. Really just having the conviction and believing in what I was saying and bringing it from my point of view, I think was very helpful from Regal. Talking about his officiating in the Fight Pit match between Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle, Daniel Cormier told Kathy Kelly it was amazing. Those guys fought. You knew that a rivalry like that needed an ending like that. Something very true. Something that could not be questioned. And Matt Riddle got it done. It was tremendous being inside the Fight Pit. I had to put Rollins in his place because he's been disrespectful. He grabbed me while I was checking on Riddle, but I said I would be fair. I thought that I was that night. I came here to do a job, and I think I did that job to the best of my abilities. Talking about Superstar crossover, Finn Balor touched on his match where the top rope broke when he was set to deliver his finishing move. I feel like it's just been left open-ended, and the finish hasn't been addressed. There was an idea to go to a different direction, but then Brock returned and the direction changed. So that's something you have to kind of come to terms with and understand in WWE, that there's always going to be, if one piece of the jigsaw changes, the whole landscape changes. If someone gets hurt or someone returns, there's always going to be different ideas and plans in place. So you just got to be able to adapt to the ever-evolving situation. That's what we have to do, but I feel like the finish of that match has definitely caused some water cooler talk, so to speak, and the fact that we're still talking about it a year later is evidence of that. And I feel like in the next couple of months, we should really revisit that and address what happened that night. On the DDP Snake Pit podcast, WWE Hall of Famer Jake Roberts spoke about The Undertaker asking if they could ride together when the latter first got into WWE, as Jake knew this was for an interesting reason. You know, he first came to me when he first got there and he says, Jake, I'll be riding with you. I'm like, well, that's kind of bold. You going to go setting up rides for me now? He goes, no, I want to travel with you. I'm like, okay, so you want to get underneath the learning tree. I appreciate you being bold enough to come and ask me straight out. Hey man, I'll be glad to share anything I know. He says, that's great too, but I heard you know where all the good good strip joints are. I said, worldwide. He said, well, I'm going to hang with you. I said, dude, let's be honest. You played basketball, didn't you? He said, yeah. I said, you'd probably be better off going and dribbling somewhere in a corner than trying to hang with me, because I'll bury your dumb ass. You can't hang with me. He says, it's a challenge. I'll meet you 1-for-1. I said, okay, let's go. So we did that for about 2 months, but it was taking a heavy toll on him. I remember going to TV one night and Vince says, hey, dead man, you don't need to put the paint on tonight. You're looking dead enough already. You need to get the hell away from Jake. A week or two later, somebody told me he got alcohol poisoning. That's when I ended the contest and said, look, man, I cheat. There's no way in hell I'm going to lose to you, because I know there is vitamins that you can take that will keep you going no matter how much you drink. I shared the information with him, which wasn't a good thing to do because it was something that was highly addictive. That was my bad. But no, Mark traveled with me, man. Some of my favorite times. Speaking to DAZN, AEW President Tony Khan spoke about the position his company might be in without the likes of Chris Jericho and Jon Moxley. I think it'd be very challenging. If you looked at many teams and took 3 players off of them, 3 of the most featured and productive players on the team, I think those teams would struggle. If you take Bird, McHale, and Parrish, or Magic Johnson, Kareem, and Worthy, or Jordan, Pippen, Rodman off their different sports teams, and you took those 3 most productive players off, these, Danielson, Jericho, and Moxley, are 3 of the most productive players on our team. A lot of great people contribute to the show, but they are 3 of the most important for sure. Talking about Jon Moxley's contract status with AEW, it was revealed on Wrestling Observer Radio that I know it expired in July. For whatever reason, the date July 22nd rings a bell. I do know it's within like a week of that date, the week earlier. It's somewhere between the 16th and the 22nd. People thought when May came and went, AEW probably renewed his option year, or he had signed a new deal because he was still working there. His deal was extended due to his time off when he went to rehab. It extended through July, then July came and went, and he hadn't signed, but he was not going to leave. So I guess he was working under his old terms while they were negotiating certain things. Tony Khan wanted certain things, Moxley wanted certain things. I think the key to all of this, he signed a 5-year deal. So as far as like, why so long? I think the answer was that he just felt that he's not going to WWE, doesn't want to go to WWE, doesn't want to put on the facade of going to WWE to, play both sides against each other and make more money. He doesn't want people speculating he's going to WWE. He wants all speculation over, and he signed with AEW for 5 more years. And I know at some point he discussed, I don't know how seriously, but being a free agent. When he first signed with AEW, in his mind, it was 3 years, and then after 3 years, he's going to do indies. He ended up really liking AEW, and now his thing is to be happy and to make a legacy and to be the best professional wrestler that he could be. And he feels that to be the best professional wrestler that he can be and to have the best matches, the place to be is AEW and NJPW. He's not going to WWE, and it's not that Tony's going to release him to WWE either, and he had a good understanding with Tony Khan. When it comes to Moxley working shows outside of AEW, it was noted that the way it was written, in the press release was that he's going to be exclusive for AEW and New Japan, but he does have the right to do independence. Tony has to approve it, but that's how it's always been. But he will not be doing as many independent shows as he was doing before. He doesn't want to stress himself out and do this hard of a schedule, although he definitely wants to do it at some point. Maybe not next year, but that's one of the things he wants to do. He definitely wants to do New Japan. With Michael Cole mentioning Sasha Banks at Extreme Rules when speaking about Bayley's history from NXT, Banks would then post a cryptic tweet following the event. It reads, I had to see you live for more. You said it before. You wish I'd seen. The saint you were before. With his brother Bray Wyatt making his WWE comeback at Extreme Rules last night, it seems Bo Dallas is heading that way too, as Brian Alvarez reported from multiple sources. Bo Dallas should be back very soon. Speaking of Bray Wyatt, fans pointed out a possible tribute to the late Brodie Lee, known as Luke Harper in WWE, as one wrote, y'all can tell me if this is a reach, but I thought this tiny detail / tribute to Brodie from Bray Wyatt's return at Extreme Rules tonight was pretty freaking cool if that's what it was. Anyone else catch this? Another said, what a tribute to Mr. Brodie Lee. That mask that Abby the Witch is wearing is what Brodie Lee used to when he was Harper as the Bludgeon Brothers. Thanks for that, Bray, and God bless and continue to rest in power. When it comes to social media numbers following the return of Bray Wyatt, PW Insider reported some metrics, writing YouTube 1.86 million views between two videos, Twitter 1.2 million views, 5,252 retweets, and 27,200 likes, Instagram 437,045 likes, Facebook around 500,000 views, TikTok 73,000 views with 20,000 likes. Talking about the fact that AEW has not been updating the rankings much, Tony Khan told comicbook.com, I haven't updated the rankings lately because I think so much has been fluid coming out of the Grand Slam Tournament of Champions in particular. It's a fluid situation coming out of Grand Slam, and I think now I'm reevaluating it and quite possibly could bring them back soon. But certainly made a lot of changes for the better that led to our best ratings of the year in many ways because we really zoned in and have had, I think, a lot of our best shows in recent months. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.